What's good, family? It's your man the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Pat Flanagan, for coming through and boosting the coin up. So, as you've seen by the title, we got some super duper leaked information right now regarding your man's Anthony Joshua. It's a leaked opponent. His next opponent is some next Donny I've never heard of, Dempsey McKean. Yeah, this cat's come through on some next interview and said the following. Dempsey McKean has stated that he is one of the frontrunners to potentially fight Anthony Joshua in his return on April 1st. As things stand, the fight is not yet made, and McKean questioned whether AJ will ultimately choose him because he is a southpaw. Now, I weren't going to do a video on this. Some of you dons DM me, so I thought, you know what, I haven't talked about Joshua in a while, so let's discuss it. Listen, fair play to the guy, yeah, Dempsey. In fact, you know what, let's peep. Let's see what this guy's saying. Again, I ain't got a clue who this guy is. Yeah, ain't before. Let's have a look at this dude. Big burly looking ass. It's not even that burly. Oh look, AJ and him, they've been in camp together before. Now he's southpaw, so I assume potentially he came in on the USIC camp. But listen, man, this guy look corny. Ain't gonna lie to no one. Yeah, this isn't it for me. Now people are gonna say, well, YB, Joshua, he's lost that spark and he needs to warm up on someone. Yeah, he needs, essentially, people are saying Eddie Hearn needs to serve Anthony Joshua something sweet. Yeah, serve him up something sweet. Serve him up a nice plate of food, and then rebuild. And to be honest with you, I've got a video coming soon. There's some murmurings. In fact, no, Eddie Hearn himself came out and said Anthony Joshua has sacked off the UK and he's going to the US and is officially locked down with a particular US trainer. Now, AJ hasn't officially announced what trainer it is, but that is somewhat good news. Now, I'm going to cover that. Well, AJ hasn't told us who it is exactly yet, so I'm going to cover that in its own right in due course. What I will say is, like I've been saying, I don't care what camp he's going to, yeah? If I see Fernando, you know what I mean? Nah, that's a no from me. Fernando best be left at home, yeah? Leave that guy at home, 100%. If he's there, then it's dead, because the guy's no good. Fernando's no good. We've seen, Fernando's had 3 years and he's no good. AJ's never been softer. Soft like butter, 100%. So anyway, back to the point of this video. The point is, assuming, yeah, Fernando's been left at home, and assuming AJ's really dedicating himself to a new trainer. Again, AJ bringing his old bum washed up training staff to the US, that tells me he's not serious. But if he genuinely is leaving Fernando at home, going to the US, then that softens me to the idea of, you know what, give this guy a real camp with a real new trainer and punch this idiot up. Punch this dude here up. Yeah, Mr. McKean. On the other side though, if Fernando's there, then I ain't trying to watch this one. You understand? I'm prepared. Listen, I'm as happy as the next man to give AJ one last chance, assuming he's really dedicated this time. No cornballs in your camp. Do you understand? That's the line for me. Yeah? If you've still got this weird fetish for Fernando, if Fernando has to hold your hand, what's this? Big burly looking out. I've never seen yet a dude as big and buff as Johnston. But he needs someone holding his hand. What's that about? Where they find these guys at? Do you know what I'm saying? Big buff dude, and he's got this next South American Donny holding his hands everywhere he goes. Where they doing that at? Do you know what I'm saying? I can't work it out myself. Yeah? Listen, Johnston. God gave you 2 feet. Stand on them. Yeah? You're the next man to hold your hand. So if he's gone out there and he's really on it, and we'll know that. That's the key thing for me. That's what I'm watching. I'm not even watching so much for the trainer he's picked. I'm interested in who he's out there with. Because, let's not forget people, yeah? When he hired Robert Garcia, he told Garcia, in fact he told us all, oh, I've picked Robert, but it wasn't really about me, it was about Fernando. What the fuck? Oh, I'm not really, but it was about Fernando being comfortable. I couldn't work that one out. You're the multi-million-dollar dude. You're the ace. You're the boxer, and you're trying to satisfy next man. Like, what's going on here? Yeah. So again, if he's gone to the US, with Fernando, then I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same sort of weird ass relationship with AJ saying, "Oh, make sure Fernando's okay." This ain't about me. As far as my relationship goes with Losua, I'm not interested at all in how Fernando feels. Do you understand? That's not even on my list of things to worry about. Oh, but what about how Fernando feels? I couldn't give a about what Fernando feels. He's no good. And even if he was good, he's still no good. How about that? But anyway, again, if this guy, if AJ's over there in the US and it's a whole new setup, no Fernando, then this plate of food can make sense. Yeah, let's go put him in there with something sweet and take it from there. Yeah, break AJ down and start all over again. If it's not, if AJ's just going over to the US for the sake of it, and Fernando's still there, then I'm not trying to watch this one. Why? Because nothing's going to change people. AJ needs a real change. And a real change is not having all the clingers on who we know are no good. It's proven Fernando is no good. We know that. He's soft. Yeah, we've heard him too many fights now. Yeah, that's great. Just blowing smoke up AJ's arse. The last thing he needed for both fights was more smoke blowing. And that's why I told you as well about Fernando. Oh, he winning, man, he winning. And it gets me because people say, YB, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, everything else. Yeah, but listen, I was one of the only people in boxing who was saying Robert Garcia is overrated. And there was people in my comment section, in my DMs, oh, YB, you got this one wrong. Oh, Robert Garcia, everyone was gassing it way too much. I said, listen, I don't rate the guy. And next thing we know, oh, he winning, man, he winning. Oh, he winning, he win. What the fuck? And this, again, I'll tell a lie, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think it'd be that bad. I gotta be honest here. I knew that Garcia weren't all that. Ever since I saw how sad Mikey Garcia went out. Sandor Martin boxed Mikey Garcia's chops off for him. But my issue was, it's not the fact Mikey Garcia lost, it was the fact that Robert Garcia was happy to sideman his little brother. Now, in my opinion, great trainers, they've either got it or they haven't. Do you get what I'm saying? You've either got that burning desire to win or you ain't. And the fact Robert Garcia sat there with his brother getting his ears boxed off and he was just happy to sideman. So that guy, what makes you think? A man who can't get passionate enough about his little brother, you telling me he's going to get passionate over this big buff burly Nick he met 2 months ago? Come on now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. But anyway, man, listen. This McKean guy, I don't know who he is. And that's the risk is, you see. The risk is. AJ's, I'm trying to think now. How fragile is AJ? Now, in all fairness to AJ, he's not gone Amir Khan mode in that sense. He's not completely chopsless. Because if AJ was completely chopsless, Usyk would have got him out of there. And in fact, Usyk couldn't even knock him down. So AJ's not completely shot to bits. So I think I was about to say, is there a risk here that McKean might end up getting off on him? But that's the risk, you see. The problem is, what happens if McKean comes out like Kevin Lerena, but the real version? Yeah, when Kevin Lerena stuck it on Dubois, it went downhill quickly. And I think anyone fighting AJ, you've got to forget about 12 rounds, or particularly a B-side like this. Now, obviously, if your name's Tyson Fury or Usyk or Joe Joyce, you can have a real strategy. But these guys, if I was training someone like Dempsey to fight AJ, I'll be telling them, listen, forget about 12 rounds. Go in there and pop this buff dude right in his chops. Listen, we're treating this as a Mike Tyson 1986 3-round fight. We're going in there like Storm and Norman. I'm just going to light the paint up. That's what the strategy must be. And if someone does that, in my opinion, all bets are off. Because we've all seen, how AJ responded in that first round from the first fight against Usyk. He got popped and was like, my man looked like he's seen a ghost. Yeah? And then the second time, in the second fight, in round 9, AJ got off in round 9, or round 8, whatever round it was. And then Usyk came back, and AJ was all kind of like, So there's still that. That's the bit what's going to be key for me either way. That's going to tell me how serious these trainers are. The first time we see AJ in some sort of adversity, that's what we're going to know what's going on here. Now the question is, can Dempsey McKean, or is Dempsey McKean likely to bring any adversity? And the answer is probably not. And I gotta be honest, yeah, this is, I don't know the guy from Adam yet, but this does feel a little bit of a weak pick. But again, I'm not knocking it, because AJ's likely going into a Wilder fight or a Dillian White fight, so it's not like, well, yeah, it's not like, I mean, Tyson Fury hadn't even lost, and he was fighting back-to-back Pina. Who did he fight? Panini, who was it? Panini and someone else. Yeah, was it Frank Panini? I'm not sure, but there was some next two Donnies he fought after his retirement in 2017 or whenever it was. He fought Panini and someone else. Pinata, Panini, one of them ones. And then a month later he fought someone else. So this ain't as bad as that, but still. I'm trying to think, what names make more sense than this cat here? Now, this, to be fair, the man himself has said it's not set in stone. But still, even to be linked, it's a bit of a... Don't forget, yeah, AJ has been built as this big, buff, burly Nick. Do you understand? It's kind of startling to think, you know what? Look how the mighty have fallen. Do you know what I'm saying? We've gone from this guy, superhero-looking ass dude, to he's fighting some random Donny from Australia that no one ever heard of before. I think that's a little bit too much for me, even in the situation he's in. Again, it's not like he got knocked out by Usyk. I feel there must be some middle ground here. I'm trying to think of a name. Who is the best middle ground fight for AJ? And my worry is, again, I'm not knocking Dempsey, but AJ doesn't need a gimme fight right now. Although you could argue, maybe YB, give him a gimme fight. I don't know, maybe he does need a gimme fight. Again, I don't even know if this is a gimme fight, in all fairness. But still, what names are there? I mean, I actually think a perfect example, I think Otto Wallin. If you're going to go with the southpaw thing, I think Wallin, bear in mind, yeah, Wallin still has some clout from the Fury fight. Some people said he won that fight, for example. I think the Wallin fight brings you more credibility. Now, Wallin is not a big puncher. We know that for a fact. If Tyson Fury went in there, yeah, and he had no problem, Wallin is not a big puncher. Why not AJ versus Wallin? At least you're getting a little bit of name credibility there. And we know Wallin is sturdy as well. Wallin's sturdy enough that AJ can go in there and essentially have a heavy bag session. And with the same breath though, Wallin, he ain't no mug in that sense. Wallin ain't going to turn up and roll over. Again, I'm not saying Dempsey will, but he's just too unknown for me. Too unknown. I'm very surprised that he's even in the mix. It should be a Wallin. Now the other argument is, well, YB, why not fight a super lower level guy and then fight Wallin and then fight White? And that could be, in all fairness, you know, if AJ really has gone to the US, I don't think that's a bad idea. Have a complete gimme, yeah. Get your mojo back, because I mean it's been about 10 years since the big buff Marvel hero looking ass dude got a knockout. So it wouldn't be bad news, you know, to go in there and storm someone. But I think what's critical here, that's what I figured out now. The key reason why I felt iffy about this cat here, yeah, Dempsey, it's not so much the level of the opponent or the name of the opponent. It's the time frame things are happening on. Yeah, now if they tell us, listen, AJ's got a new trainer, he's left Fernando at home, and we're on the comeback trail, we're going for undisputed. And over the next 6 months, we've got 3 fights booked, yeah, we're going to do Dempsey, then Wallin, then Dillian White, all within 6 months, mapped out today, I can back that. What I can't back is, we've gone to America to get a new trainer, and in 8 months we might fight Dempsey, and in another year we might fight Dillian. Nah, man, that's whack. If you're going to have these little whack fights, yeah, it must be Mike Tyson 1987 style, when he was fighting, he was going in there back to back to back to back. That's what needs to change here. Yeah? Now, And that really equates with, if AJ's lowering or dropping down levels, it's fine in my book, given his new training situation. But he must adjust. Listen, if you're fighting once a year or once every 8 months, and you're fighting these top big massive fights, that makes sense. You can't apply that big massive pay-per-view name kind of standard to the, you know what I'm saying? Because by fighting someone like Dempsey, you're basically saying, I'm taking a step back, and that's fine. But when fighters take a step back, or fighters at lower levels, they fight more actively. Because what's no good, in my opinion, is AJ fighting these lower level guys 8 months apart. You ain't learning nothing there. He needs to go in there. I actually think it's an ideal idea strategy. Take a step back, yeah, but every other month. It doesn't always have to be on pay-per-view. AJ could really humble himself, yeah, and say, you know what? I mean, who's DAZN? I mean, in all fairness, maybe even the Canelo undercard. Yeah, AJ can go co-main. Because really, I'm not being funny here. AJ versus Dempsey, that's not a pay-per-view show. Oops, it's just not. For example, Canelo versus Bivol, AJ could be the chief support against Dempsey. Really humble himself and really put himself back in a situation of, you know what? I'm not an A-side bull yet. I'm going to earn it and start again. Because really, in my opinion, AJ really does need to start again. I never rated Rob McCrappen. He needs to go back to his roots as such and start again. That's in my opinion. Yeah, forget about all this other stuff they'll be on. AJ can really, for the next year, yeah, pretend he's literally almost start again. Do you understand? Go to a new trainer and literally restart your career mode. We're going to go right back to basics. Fight some of these throwaway guys, but every other month AJ's in there on some undercard. I mean, DAZN, yeah, they have shows every month. AJ doesn't have to headline them all, but again, it's up to him. If he thinks he's a prima donna, I'm a $50 million man, so I can't ever accept less money than $50 million, and it'll be what it'll be. But if he really wants to restart his career mode and put his career first, listen, AJ's cashed out the game anyway. He's minted. He don't need no more coins. So at this point, what it's really about, do you want to potentially have another run at greatness or not? If you don't, just do what you carry on doing what you're doing and sell your booty to Dillian White, sell your booty to whoever else is hanging about and call it a day. But if you're serious, go on undercards. You know what I'm saying? Or who's fighting for DAZN, whoever's fighting, whatever main events DAZN has, yeah, just get out there every other month, out there working, popping someone's chops for them, yeah, blowing someone's back out. That's what you should. I think that's a great plan with a new trainer, because the problem is at your age, yeah, getting a new trainer and then fighting every 8 months, you can't test that. What you can test is and that will build the hype up again. If we see you murking people with new skills, that's finger licking good. But time will tell anyway. Let's see what this guy's saying, man. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. No doubt about 100%.